My name's Andy Fay. I have been a first aid instructor for 12 years and I've been a first aider for 34 years, something like that. I did my first course in 1981. Basically I get paid to do my hobby. I left school and got an apprenticeship as a carpenter, and I was going to college and they offered all these young lads an extra course called first aid, and I took it up not thinking anything of it. And then I made the mistake of volunteering my skills for a charity that I'm involved in. I walked into the first aid room and said, "I've got a first aid certificate, do you need anybody?" And that was in 1981, and the rest is history. Initially, my father ran a plant hire company, and from that it got me into, I worked for builders merchants and manufacturers of stone cutting equipment, so I was on the road as a rep for 10 years. So all of my first aid experience has come from either being on the roads and the motorways or on building sites or as a volunteer in stadiums, and then the more experience I got, the better I got at showing other people what to do, and that's now what I do for a living. If you get someone walk in the room who is thinking they don't want to do this, they're too frightened to do this, I can't cope if there's an emergency, usually something's happened in their life in the past, or they're scared of getting sued. They don't want the responsibility of knowing what to do. And then by the end of the course, you hand them the course evaluation form and they've ticked excellent all the way down, and one of the questions is, how confident do you feel? And if they say very confident, or at least if they just say I'm confident to do first aid, then I've done my job. You're definitely better off knowing what to do in an emergency than not knowing. Burying your head in the sand and not knowing what to do in an emergency is no way to go when it's someone you care about who needs your help. Some people have a bad habit and they think, we don't need to learn first aid, we just call an ambulance if there's an emergency. But it could be something really simple, very, very simple skill that could have saved that person not only their life, but also the risk of brain damage. It's literally just a matter of tipping their head backwards. And that is a simple skill that you would learn on a first aid course. And that tiny little skill could save somebody's life. It could literally be the difference between them dying and not.